fact that you're carrying the mantle for a conviction shows you have ulterior motives. And those ulterior motives are keeping a black man behind bars.
Download the Roland Martin Unfiltered podcast on the iHeartRadio app and catch Roland Martin's daily commentary on the Black Information Network.
Because truth matters. Stories about our people.
The legacy of the Black Cowboys was celebrated for the first time in Sacramento, California, in Hill Park neighborhood.
By our people, settle down and public safety efforts. Invest in impacted communities.
Black African Nation School and Emergency Summit had announced sanctions on Haiti's pending president of Venezuela.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app.
Home is where the heart is. During hurricane season, it's also the eye of the storm for some of us. We're bracing ourselves this year because the sea temperatures are high. Check out so well being.
Direct relief, the nonprofit purpose and health and high-stress community will be there with emergency shipments of medication and supplies of community health centers, solar energy, and backup, so those who need it can get treated. Learn more at directrelief.org. A special thank you to Sony,
A proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
The American Civil Liberties Union, founded in 1920, works in the courts, legislators, and our communities to defend and preserve our individual rights and liberties. Find out how you can get involved at ACLU.org. That's ACLU.org. If you see something, say something. Call the Black Information Network at 855-500-9BIN. The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees.
I'm Mo Kelly on BIN with your 2-minute warning. Once upon a time, it was said that Richard Pryor was the freest black man in America. Others said it was Dick Gregory. But regardless of who holds/held the title, it's the belief that it's the one black man least constrained or afraid of consequences for anything he says. With that in mind, I would like to submit a non-comedian's name for consideration in 2023. NBA great and Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer Charles Barkley. You can agree or disagree with his views, but you can't argue his freedom to speak his mind, even with TV gigs hanging in the balance. Recently, at the ACC golf tournament, he gave his thoughts about Bud Light, rednecks, and LGBTQ controversies of recent months. I apologize in advance for the profanity. Well, not really.
I'm gonna buy some drinks for y'all, and I'm gonna buy Bud Light.
What? You want me to comment behind that? Nope, I'll pass. I'm Mo Kelly at Mr. Mo Kelly on social media, and that's your 2-minute warning on the Black Information Network. Because truth matters.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area, BIN 910.
Here's what's trending on the Black Information Network. A black social media influencer is facing charges after a giveaway in New York City on Friday sparked chaos. Keep listening for more. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network.
Sports on the Black Information Network.
Joe Mixon is opening up about his contract restructure. The Cincinnati Bengals star running back told the media, "I see the task at hand and what we're trying to build in order to keep other players here and pieces here. Sometimes you have to sacrifice." Mixon agreed to rework his deal this offseason, which helped save the team $4.3 million against the salary cap. Since he is also getting some good news on another running back. ESPN reports Davion Williams will miss several weeks with a mild ankle sprain. The 25-year-old was carted off the field at practice recently, and the team feared the injury could have been season-ending. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans are moving on from an offensive lineman after he instigated another training camp brawl. Jamarco Jones was released on Thursday following his involvement in a second altercation at practice. The right tackle made an illegal crackback block on linebacker Chance Campbell, which led to Azeez Al-Shaair confronting Jones. Both needed to be separated. Jones was also at the center of a pushing match with Jeffrey Simmons last week, which led to both players getting kicked out of practice that day. The 27-year-old was selected in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft by the Seattle Seahawks. And the Chicago Bears defense is getting a lot better. ESPN reports the Bears signed free agent defensive end Denise Ngawe to a one-year deal worth $10.5 million. Ngawe is entering his 7th season in the NFL. He spent last year with the Indianapolis Colts, and he racked up 9.5 sacks in 15 games. The 2017 Pro Bowler has finished with at least 8 sacks in 6 of his NFL seasons. With the latest in sports, I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Lonnie Johnson, an African-American NASA engineer, was developing an environmentally friendly heat pump when he tested the prototype in the bathroom, aiming it at the bathroom. The nozzle let off a powerful stream of water when he pulled the lever. In 1986, Johnson was given a patent for his new invention, and 3 years later, the invention was sold to the Laramie Corporation. The power drencher made very little impact when it originally hit the market in 1990 and was sold on shelves. After further tweaks and repackaging, it came to the market as the Super Soaker. And you can hold some of the 50 feet away, taking the toy market by storm and generating $200 million in sales in 1995 alone. However, Johnson was satisfied this year's royalties and in 2013 has Johnson would be awarded nearly $73 million in royalties, and that's a fact. I'm Terrence Bitter on the Black Information Network. Staying informed is never been easier. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network. Music mogul and entrepreneur Jay-Z is doing his part to help out small business owners. The rapper recently bought 3 paintings of Beyonce after seeing the artist on the news. He also personally invited the artist, Lauren Michelle, to the second night of Beyonce's Renaissance tour stop in New Jersey. There, Michelle presented him with 3 canvases and posted the interaction on Twitter. And it seems things may be getting worse for pop star Lizzo, as the attorney representing the 3 former dancers suing her says even more people are coming forward. According to Radar Online, lawyer Ron Zambrano says the cat's out of the bag and that people are coming forward sympathizing with the dancers, saying they went through similar things. He says people have been called in his office nonstop, letting him know how Lizzo allegedly is behind closed doors. The plaintiffs in the case, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez, are claiming sexual harassment, religious harassment, disability discrimination, racial harassment, and a hostile work environment against Lizzo and her dance captain, Charlene Quigley. The former dancers say Lizzo failed to prevent or stop the issues. Finally, living legend Patti LaBelle has a lot to sing about after finding out that she has the best-selling food brand at Walmart. The 79-year-old star was honored by Forbes 50 over 50 U.S. list that was published on August 1st. She is the founder of Patty's Good Life food line, inspired by her love of cooking. She offers comfort foods, desserts, and now breakfast. LaBelle and her son Zuri own 100% of the company that has grossed to date nearly $200 million. With the latest in entertainment at 17 and 47 minutes past each hour, I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com. Does race really exist, or did we create it? Listen to the thought-provoking episode of Spit, iHeartRadio's podcast with 23andMe, where they explore how understanding your DNA changes how we think about ourselves and the world. Host Baratunde Thurston sits down with Wyclef Jean and Professor Albert Hillary to discuss how people view the connections between genetics and race.
When I integrated my bus stop in New Jersey in 1980, some high school kids decided that they were going to hang me in a tree and kill me at 9 years old. And thank God the bus driver wasn't on time, cut me down, and I made it, and that's why I do this work every day.
So my dad always told me, don't forget your ethnicity. Ascendant of 1804, Toussaint Louverture. So this was like how I was brought up, with a very fearless attitude.
Listen to the full episode of Fit with 23andMe in the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Trusted, black, new.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Doug Davis.
And I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Here are your top stories. Former President Trump pleads not guilty to criminal charges connected to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. A woman is dead, and among the wounded is her toddler son, following a mass shooting on Chicago, Illinois' mostly black South Side. And over 1,000 U.S. military men and women will stay in Niger as non-emergency U.S. government employees and eligible family members evacuate the country after a military takeover.
The U.S. Embassy and DMA is open. We intend for it to remain open. We remain committed to the people of Niger and our relationship with the people of Niger, and we remain diplomatically engaged at the highest level. That's something that will continue.
As State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller, not long ago, the country's newly elected president was removed from office. The Biden administration says the U.S. will continue its financial commitment to the country, unlike other European nations that have pulled assistance to Niger after calling the takeover a coup.
Depending on where you live, this may be of a concern to you. The risk of being bitten by a snake increases during the summer. This Emory University researcher says their study on snake bites will help predict what time of year people should be alert.
We want to do a better job of being able to predict and project who may be bitten and when, where, and how we can try to avoid that.
The study says increased snake bites are one of the potential impacts of climate change.
It appears that the economy is moving forward, with more jobs being added and inflation receding. The nation's second largest financial institution, Bank of America, and the federal government reversed its prediction for the economy, agreeing that a recession is not in the cards. Black Kansas City, Missouri business owner Chris Good, who owns a juicery, agrees and is convinced it's time to expand. Our economy in Kansas City is growing. We, as a small business, are also growing in concert with that growth. But the optimism comes as credit rating agency Fitch downgrades the U.S. from AAA to AA+, citing the insurrection, political polarization, and growing debt. Bank of America is a proud founding partner of the Black Information Network.
A Caribbean woman who developed a special love for tea from her grandmother has borrowed some of her recipes to start her own successful product line. BlackEnterprise.com reports Michelle Watson is the founder and CEO of Ingenuity, and online orders of her special Caribbean blend of organic tea flavors are selling out like nobody's business. Watson also has a heart for the underserved. She donates 10% of her earnings to help alleviate food insecurity. Watson says it's an honor to present to the world her family tradition of tasty Caribbean-style teas.
And coming up, we'll take a look at another thriving African-American-owned brand as we celebrate Black Business Month right here on the BIN. I'm Doug Davis, along with Esther Dillard, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. If 100,000 BIN listeners were able to advance their careers or succeed in a new one, it would be one step towards building a better future for all of us. To learn more about the 100,000 Careers Initiative, visit careerbuilder.com/BIN.
Got a story or just want to leave us some feedback? Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN. Partner by play the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app.
America's trusted black voice.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area, BIN 910. Your money on the Black Information Network.
The National Insurance Crime Bureau is out with the latest list of the most stolen vehicles in the U.S. According to federal crime data, the top two most stolen vehicles in 2022 were the full-size Chevrolet Silverado and the Ford F-150 pickup truck. The Honda Civic and Accord were the number 3 and 4 most stolen cars, followed by the Hyundai Sonata and Elantra. Rounding out the top 10 are the Kia Optima, Toyota Camry, GM Pickup, and Honda CR-V. More than 700,000 vehicles are stolen in the U.S. each year.
Adidas said it made about $437 million from its first sale of Yeezy sneakers last quarter. In its earnings call Thursday, the chief financial officer of the sportswear company said the liquidation of Kanye West's sneakers also allowed them to donate over $120 million to groups that are fighting hate, racism, and anti-Semitism. Adidas ended its partnership with the rapper late last year after he made a string of anti-Semitic comments. The company's CEO says the second batch of Yeezys hit the market this week. Money news at 24 and 54 past each hour. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, The Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Trusted News 24/7.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Esther Dillard.
And I'm Doug Davis on your home for 24/7 News, The Black Information Network.
In Florida, the Black family of a woman who was struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver in a parking lot wants prosecutors to hand out additional charges to the suspect. NBC6 in South Florida reports 67-year-old Patricia Gardner was one of 3 people hit by a car last week, which police say left the scene. Her sister, Allie Mobley.
She'll give you the shirt off her back, and she did not deserve to go out like this.
Police later arrested 62-year-old African-American Sharon Cox. Cox is currently charged with leaving the scene of a crash, causing serious bodily harm, but the victim's family is calling on prosecutors for more charges.
6 former police officers accused of beating and sexually assaulting 2 black men in Mississippi in January have pleaded guilty. WLBT reports these former Rankin County officers was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs and shackled. Prosecutors say the officers abused and tortured African-Americans Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker in what is believed to be a racially motivated attack. U.S. Attorney Darren LaMarca said this at a news conference.
These men sexually abused their victims, repeatedly tased them, tortured them, all under the authority of the badge, which they disgraced.
Station reports all 6 of the officers involved are white, while Jenkins and Parker are black.
More black women are sounding the alarm when it comes to the use of hair straightening products. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that many black women are sharing their stories of being diagnosed with cancer. This after an investigation by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences revealed that those who used relaxers at least every 5 to 8 weeks had a 31% higher breast cancer risk.
Finally, Ford Motor Company is celebrating a Detroit, Michigan area business called Peachtree Park. The Chicago Defender, powered by Real Times Media, reports the nonprofit converts vacant land into gardens and that provides fresh produce to black communities, often described as food deserts.
I'm Esther Dillard, along with Doug Davis, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's Morgan Wood with the Washington Roundup.
President Biden is calling for the release of Niger's president and family. This comes after there was a military takeover of the country recently. President Mohamed Bazoum was arrested along with his family, and the general was declared head of state. Biden called for the preservation of Niger's hard-earned democracy and said the people of the country deserve to choose their leaders. Bazoum was elected in 2021 in what was Niger's first democratic transition since its independence from France. Meanwhile, President Barack Obama reportedly warned President Biden about Donald Trump's political strength during a recent meeting with his former VP. The Washington Post reports Obama says that Trump remains a formidable political opponent, citing his loyal base of supporters, political polarization, and backing from conservative media. According to the Washington Post, Obama said he would do all he can to support Biden's re-election. That's your Washington Roundup. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 is powered in partnership with Direct Relief and Chevy. Thank you for partnering with a purpose on the Black Information Network.
New jack swing was coined a throughout the world. In 2018, the New Jack Swing sound made its return with a remix of Bruno Mars, The Best, featuring Cardi B. This is Patty Jackson for the Black Information Network. Black Association Representative Justin Jones and Justin Houston are back in office. The Republican-dominated state house itself with the Democrats back in April after they took part in the protest on the House floor in favor of tougher gun laws following the mass shooting that killed 6 people at a Christian school. Two were reinstated by local officials on an interim basis, but have to win Thursday night's special election to suddenly get their seats back. Georgia police say they'll release a mugshot of former President Trump as he's charged for their election crimes. The Black Democratic DA Fulton County Tommy Willis has shown Trump to be indicted for alleged election interference. This week, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt promised reporters he'll provide them with a mugshot if Trump is alleged. They want to Trump to be forced to take a mugshot in any of his pending cases. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on the home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. I'm Amber Payton in for Vanessa Tyler.
And I'm Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Voters in Tennessee have decided in a special election to keep 2 black state representatives, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, in office. The Republican-dominated state house expelled the 2 Democrats back in April after they took part in a protest on the House floor in favor of stronger gun laws following a mass shooting that killed 6 people at a Christian school.
Every Tennessean needs to be very concerned that we are not in a democracy. And across the United States of America, there has been no House member who's ever been expelled for exercising the First Amendment right to a peaceful protest. This is the first in American history, and we are losing our democracy to white supremacy.
A third lawmaker narrowly escaped expulsion.
4 years later, family members in the community are still mourning after a Texas man started shooting in an El Paso Walmart, claiming the lives of 23 victims and injuring 22 others.
And they encountered an individual filled with anger and filled with hate because of the color of their skin, because of their ethnicity, and they lost their lives on that day. And today's a day to remember those individuals.
The FBI determined the shooting done by 21-year-old Patrick Wood Crucius was an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime. After that, Crucius was charged with 90 federal charges and sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences.
Is seeing a mother accused of disposing of and killing her black newborn baby in the Boynton Beach, Florida inlet has been sentenced to 14 years in prison.
Well, I guarantee you, when you see an infant, newborn infant floating in the ocean that somebody has discarded like a piece of trash, it tugs at your heart.
Baby June was born on May 30th, 2018 and was tossed in the water just 2 days later on June 1st.
California's Temecula Valley Unified School District is getting sued for its ban on critical race theory. Mark Rosenbaum with an organization called Public Counsel made the details of the lawsuit public.
Public Counsel and the law firm Ballard Spahr are filing the first ever civil rights action in California, challenging the imposition of curriculum censorship.
The lawsuit was filed on behalf of several parents, students, and teachers, as well as the Temecula Valley Educators Association. It says the ban on critical race theory is censoring teachers and infringes on students' fundamental right to education. The ban, called Resolution 21, was approved by the district board's conservative majority last December.
August is Black Business Month, and Nicole Kane, owner of My Happy Flow, plant-based supplements to help alleviate the pains that come with a woman's cycle, says entrepreneurship is not as easy as some may think. In an interview with The Brio, Kane talks about her journey into e-commerce and describes it as quote, a whole different ballgame. Despite the struggles, and in addition to her e-commerce business, she's managed to launch 2 successful media businesses. For more news impacting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Amber Payton along with Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News.